Hello, and thank you for joining me for a demo of SceneScream.js. My name is Derek Douglas, and I am the developer and designer of SceneScream. If you want to go ahead and download the code, the demo file, and all of the additional supporting documentation, feel free to go to my GitHub account at github.com/Derek41999. I developed SceneScream while enhancing a client's website. It went from a multi-page website to a single-page website. And as users scrolled up and down the screen, we wanted to ensure that visitors had feedback regarding where they were inside of the web page. So for example, we're currently on the About Us scene, and as you see that it's currently in yellow. If I keep scrolling down to the different sections within the page, that section will then be highlighted in the navigation bar. So that's what SceneScream does. And the great thing also about it is that it is responsive. So as the web page is either enlarged or made smaller, it's going to go ahead and still respond and let them know exactly where they are within the website. So before I start the example, I'll give you a quick demo and talk about a few concepts within SceneScream. Our final demo is going to look like this. As users scroll up and down the web page, you'll see in the upper left hand corner it alerts them as to what specific screen they are with the scene they are within the web page. So now I'm in screen 3, screen 4. Now let's go all the way back to the bottom. I'm in screen 5. Two concepts that we need to understand first is the idea of the viewport. And if you are already a developer and designer, you know that the viewport is the part of the document, in this case the web page, that you can actually see. So as I scroll up, I get to see what's up above the viewport in terms of the web page. If I scroll down, it's the same. The idea of in view and out of view. So each section of the web page I'm calling what's a screen. So if you look at scene 2, it is what I call out of view. It is out of view because the top of scene 2 is not at or above the top of our viewport. So as I scroll down, the top is now above the viewport. So now we know that we're on scene 2. And it's still going to be in view so long as the bottom is below the top of the viewport. I'm going to continue scrolling up, and now it's out of view. So it no longer says scene 2. It actually says screen 3. It is now in view because its top is above the viewport, but yet its bottom is still below the viewport. Okay, so let's look at our example in which we're going to now go ahead and use SceneScream to update our demonstration. As we scroll down and as we go from scene 3 to scene 4 and then subsequently to scene 5, we'll see in the upper left hand corner it doesn't reflect the fact that scene 4, again the top is above the viewport and the bottom is below the viewport, is actually in view, and the same for 5. So let's go ahead and fix that. So now that it's in view, it's going to actually say scene 4 instead of scene 3. I'm going to go ahead over to my code, and the location in our web document in the code for scene 4 is right here. It is this div. It currently has a class of scene 4, and that's for our styling. But we're going to go ahead and identify it as a scene, S-C-E-N-E-S. I'm going to type that in. And also, we need to give it its own identifier. I'm going to go ahead and call this one scene 4. And go ahead and close that out. Now, the great thing is this is nice and flexible. You can add this to almost any element in which you want to define as a scene. And in this case, if I had additional information that I wanted to add to it, I would add it right here. and it would be enclosed within that scene, in this case scene 4. Let's go ahead and do the same for scene 5. Again, I'm going to identify it as a scene, that element, and then go ahead and give it its own unique identifier. I'm going to call this one, of course, as scene 5. So now that we've done that, we've identified where we want the code to fire. Let's actually go down to the script section, and this is the start of my SceneScream jQuery code. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste the top, the scene 3 that was just above it. So I'm going to identify, so this is the top of scene 4 that I am adding here, letting it know, and this is where the bottom is going to be calculated. In that indicator box that we saw, this one right here, I want to go ahead and, when it's in view, scene 4, I want it to display scene 4. Also, I want to change the background color to one that's separated and different from the other one, so I'm going to go ahead and give it that value. And then for our drop shadow, let's go ahead and give it a different look and color. Go ahead and make sure I save that. So now we've updated everything for scene 4. Let's go ahead and do the same for scene 5. It's easy. It's going to be just the same as the other one. Go ahead and change that to scene 5 top, scene 5 top also, and scene 5. I'm not going to go into all of the code. Again, if you go to the GitHub account, it's going to have a detailing of each section of the code and tells you exactly what it does. So again, in that indicator box, I want to call it scene 5, and let's go ahead, just like scene 4, give it its own special color. And again, for the drop shadow, give it something nice and unique. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, and let's go back to our example. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my page. Go back up to the top, scroll back down. Scene 1 is in view. Now scene 2 is in view. Scene 3 is in view. Now hopefully, I hope we did this right. This is going to say scene 4, and ba-bam, it does. We're doing something. And then scene 5. And once again, it is responsive. Plus, with pinpoint accuracy, it knows exactly where those tops and those bottoms are, and so we can pinpoint our code. Again, thank you for joining me as I demo my SceneScream.JavaScript. My name is Derek Douglas, and don't forget, if you want to go ahead and get the demo plus the code and any supporting documentation, go ahead and mosey on over to my GitHub account at github.com/Derek41999. Thank you and have a good day.